Hi everybody. What I have on the screen here is a presentation that's about 17 slides long. Now, I plan on using this presentation in a number of different situations. So I might have one particular presentation where I might not use all of the slides, or I might have the slides in a particular order plus a few that are removed as well. But not every presentation I do requires all 17 of these slides. So in that kind of situation, I might say, okay, I'm ready to do a presentation for a particular company. And it turns out that I don't need slide number 3, slide number 5, and slide number 7, okay, in that presentation. So what I would do ahead of time is I'd go to slide number 3, I'd right-click it, I go down here to where it says Hide Slide. There it goes, it gets a little slash going through it. I go to slide number 5, right-click that one, and go over here and click on to Hide Slide. And also on slide number 7, right-click it, and then also hide the slide. Then once I start my presentation, each of these slides will be presented, but when it gets to slide number 2, and then I go to slide number 3, the new slide number 3 is going to be this one here, okay? And one of the problems with that too is if I've got my slides numbered, you might have somebody in the audience that kind of notes that, oh, that said slide number 2, and then now you're skipping over this one because it's hidden, and now this one here, the next one up, says slide number 4, and they sit there and say to themselves, what am I missing? What is Chip trying to hide from me? But that probably isn't going to happen very often, and even if it does happen, they're probably not going to say anything. So that would work. And then once you did the presentation, then you'd have to go back in there and unhide, the slides. You have to go back in there and do a right-click here, hit hide slide, believe it or not, and that unhides it. How about that one, huh? Right-click here, hide slide, unhides it. Same thing on this one, hide slide, unhides it. And let's say also that you have a number of different scenarios like that. So let's just say we've got 10 different scenarios of different slides being hidden. And even, we didn't even get into having to rearrange some of them maybe as well. But we're not going to worry about that too much. Just the fact that you've got to do this 10 different times or 10 different ways before you do a particular presentation. And sometimes you might even forget what's supposed to be hidden for a particular presentation. Okay, so then what your second option would be to create multiple presentations off of this, do a save as and do it many times, and then go to each one of those and remove and rearrange the slides for that particular presentation that one is designed for. Now, one of the problems with that is the fact that you've got to keep track of 10 different files and try to remember which each of those files pertains to, what type of presentation, all right? I mean, I suppose you could probably name it a certain way and kind of know it that way, but overall, you've got 10 to contend with, all right? Then what happens is if, let's say, slide number 6, which is shared by a majority of the presentations, let's say that needs to be changed. Well, then you're going to have to go to each one of those presentations and make that change. Now, you could speed it up a little bit and make the change, let's say, to the first one, slide number 6, and then go and copy that slide into the other presentations that need that particular slide or that are using that slide, right? And then, you could put that in there and then remove the old one. But that's a hassle too. So the third way, which I think is the best way, is to create custom slideshows within your presentation. So you can create those 10 different custom slideshows within this one presentation file, and then every time that you're ready to do a presentation, you open up the same file, but then you would go over to something like this. We would go over here to slideshow, we would go to custom slideshow, and it would have listed all of the slideshows that we had created, all the custom slideshows. And you would just go there, click onto that, and off it would launch the slideshow. So that's the way to do it. And the beauty of that too is that then when, let's say you have to change slide number 6, which is common amongst the majority of your slides, of your presentations, then you make the one change just to this one here, all right, right here, and it will automatically update all of those custom slideshows because they're all pretty much relying on these here, okay? So it's a pretty easy updating and management type process. All right, so how do we go about doing this? Well, what you do is you would go over to slideshow, and then you would click on to custom slideshow. In between what you just saw, I deleted that other custom slideshow in there, so it was a nice clean start here. So if you're wondering if you were seeing things. Anyway, so we're going to go over here to custom shows, and this little dialog box pops up, and what we do is we click on a new, just like that, and then this will display all of our slides that we see over here. So you might say, okay, for this first slide or for this first presentation that I want to have customized, custom slideshow here, I want slide number 1, I want slide number 3, slide number 5, number 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 17. All right. And then what I do is I click on the add. That puts them all over there. Now what it does too is it renumbers it, all right, or it renumbers the slides. So over here, what the team used to be number 3, it's now the second slide, so it's marked as number 2. Now if you need to maybe rearrange a couple, maybe you want to take this one right here, you'd hit the up arrow a couple times, move it up. Maybe you want to take this one here and move it down a couple, just like that. That's all you have to do. Then what you do is you give it a name. Now what I'm going to do just for this situation, I'm just going to call it or leave it as custom show 1. You can kind of think in your situation what you might call the first one, okay? So once we've done that, we go ahead and hit OK, and now that one's in there. That's it. Now we'll do a couple more here so you can get the hang of this. So now the next one we do is we'll click on the new again, all right? There we are again. So for for custom show number 2 here, we'll do this one, this one, this one, this one, that, and that, all right? And maybe this one, this one, and this one. Hit add, brings them all over, and then I can go ahead and I can take maybe this one here, move it down, and say, okay, that's perfect. Hit OK, there we go. Then I'll do one more here, so we'll click on the new. Again, we'll leave that name. I'll go with this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one. Add it. Oh, and I say, oh yeah, and also I want to add competition too, so I'll click onto that, hit add, and that just adds it right back in there. I can rearrange them, hit OK, and now I got the 3. And that's it. And then I'll go ahead and hit close. Now, if you need to go back in and maybe modify any of them, what you can do is you just go back to slideshow, go back to your custom slide show here, go back into custom shows, pick the one that you want to fix or modify, click on the edit. There you are again. You say, okay, I also want to add the goals to there. There it is. Hit OK. Perfect. I'm all done. Click on the close. There we go. Now keep in mind these custom slideshows are built into the file. So even if you were to take this file now and save it, and let's say maybe attach it to an email and give it to somebody, they, as long as they let them know that you got them, they'll be able to use the shows themselves as well. So anyway, so what we'll do here then, let's say we're ready to do a show and we want to do show number 3, okay? So you come in one day, and I'll tell you, the other thing you might want to do here, just to make this a real simple thing to do, is you might want to go over here where it's got the icon here for the custom slideshow. You could do a right click on that and add it to your quick access toolbar. There it is, see? So that way, regardless of where you're at, okay, you can actually just go back up here, click on that little arrow there, and pick right from the list what you want to launch into. So in this case, we're going to go and run number 3. So I click on the show number 3 there.
Okay, we're on slide
there it is.
1.
All right.
I'm talking.
Now that's,
blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
So
that has some
right
audio
now,
in it from our last examples there, but that's our first one there. All right. And then we go to the next one.
Here now.
See that there? That's pretty cool.
Blah, blah, blah.
And
you just keep on going like this.
There goes, and on. So pretty cool.
The next slide.
All right, so escape out of there, and that's it. All right, and then let's say I want to go and run show number 1. I go back in there again, click on the custom show 1, and off it goes. There it goes, and there's each of our slides. Okay,
with this pretty fast.
All right, so escape out of there. One thing you might have noticed. Let me just go back in here. Let me run this again here. I'll just do show number 2.
Okay, we're on slide
You'll notice how there's slide number 2.
There's the next one.
Now so slide number 4, slide number 7, because those were the slides that we had picked, right? So if you want to maybe, I guess, remove the idea of maybe people looking at that and saying, whoa, how come they're skipping all these numbers and everything? You might want to remove the slide numbering, from your slides. So the way you do that, really easy, you just go back over into Insert, all right? You go over here to the header and footer. We had done this in one of the first videos. So we click onto that. This opens up, and we just tell it no slide number. So we take that off, and we apply to all, and there it goes. Now if we go in there and do our slideshow, we'll do number 3 here, let's say.
Okay, we're on slide
There's whatever, slide number whatever, slide number whatever, slide number whatever. No numbering down there, so that's pretty easy. And then later on, if you say, well, I want to put it on there for just the normal slides I do, just when I'm presenting everything, then all you have to do is just go back and insert again, go to your header footer, slide number, apply to all, and now the number's back in there again. Now, as far as managing all of this, if we go back into our slideshow, go back to the custom show, and go to our custom shows, right? We can go in there and we can say, well, I want to maybe take this show here and remove it, delete it. You can do that. And the other thing you can also do is you can actually take a particular show and make a copy of it, right? And that way, then you can save yourself the trouble of having to bring over a bunch of slides. You can then just go to this particular one here. And once you've done that, go ahead and edit, and then go ahead and pick off maybe the slides that you don't want and bring over the slides that you do want. Rearrange them, do whatever you need to do. Hit OK, and then click on the close, and that's it. And now, later on when you go to do the slideshow again, look at that. We've got that new one in there as well. Okay, so hopefully this helps you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.